Neville Goddard said, take some noble concept of a man. Take a man that you would love to see in this world. Dream of that man actually walking this earth and identify yourself with that man. Associate yourself in your own imagination with that as if you were he. When you actually feel that I am he and continue in that state, then things begin to unfold to bear witness to that truth and your assumption. You try it. And that is Neville Goddard. Those are the 44 seconds that changed my life. Reading that. I'm so happy. When I grew up, we were poor. I could choose when I ate, somewhat, but I couldn't choose what I ate. I ate what was there. We were poor. You know, when the good peanut butter ran out, which was pretty much, we never had good peanut butter. But when the peanut butter ran out, you just had jelly bread. You can ask Victoria how many times since I've been here I've just had jelly bread. 0. Carl's in ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, and he reaches out to me and he says, I know what my problem is. I'm too soft. I have it too soft. And I gotta ask. And so he tells me, look, I've got it pretty good. I'm living at my parents' house. I mean, yes, he tells me it took him 3 years to decide to do ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, even though he doesn't have any bills. Even though he has it soft. Because there's always food in the house. I'm always warm, full, and dry. But Carl began to get hungry like I got hungry. See, I decided I was going to be a teenage black belt. An award-winning black belt in Kempo karate instead of the kid with scoliosis. That was the last straw. I was born 3 months early, 2 pounds 4 ounces. That's just over a kilo for you people in kilo land, like here. I swear to God, every time I pick up a kilo of ground meat for the birds, I realize that's how much I weighed when I was born. The packaging weighs about 2 ounces, so when I pick up that packaging, that was me. Meanwhile, Carl's at the point. You get to make a decision. See, I was born early, sick as a kid, allergies, got picked on by all the girls. My body was twisted, but we just really didn't notice it. You can tell when you look at that Cub Scout photo of me on freeneville.com. That I was twisted. My one shoulder is inches above the other. And they basically said I'd be crippled in my 20s. I hadn't even kissed a girl yet. And I decided I was going to be an award-winning black belt. I decided to take some noble concept of a man that I would love to see in this world, somebody that cared about potential, kids, somebody super fit, somebody who was an inspiration. And I began to walk this earth as that man. I began to identify myself with that man. That's the time we're out of the blue. Hey, guess what? A new karate instructor in town. In other words, the only karate instructor in town, Rick Poxtaller, joined the YMCA staff. Started teaching Kempo. I showed up. There comes a point in time where you make a decision. See, this is what Carl's going through right now. Carl realizes he can eat when he wants. There's always food in the fridge. That doesn't mean he can eat what he wants and where he wants. You start making some money, you start making a difference. You learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. And Carl's hungry for that, so I can talk about it. And I think it's cool. I was sharing with one of the remarkable members this morning about coming to Australia. Coming to Australia, our cost of living is a lot higher than it is in southwestern Pennsylvania. A lot. And I had a choice to make. I can amp up my game, or I can go home. I decided to make my home here, to put on a more noble concept of me. Because at some point, you get tired of the old you. At some point, you want the ability to choose. And the ability to say yes comes from one thing: your imaginal act. What are you saying yes to? What are you saying no to? Who are you saying yes to being? Who is it that you will not be anymore? Take some noble concept of a man. Take a man you would love to see in this world. Dream of that man actually walking this earth and identify yourself with that man. Associate yourself in your own imagination with that, as if you were he. When you actually feel that I am he, and continue in that state, then things begin to unfold, to bear witness to the truth of your assumption. You try it. My name is Mr. 2020. If you got gold today, I've got two suggestions. One, manifestingmasterycourse.com. That's been the backbone of what we do for over a decade now. We very rarely update the website and share new success stories. Sometimes I send them out in emails. I'm busy with some other projects now. But I can promise you this. If you join manifestingmasterycourse.com and you do the lessons and you send us an update every 7 days, it takes you about 10 minutes a day. You think about this, right? I'm massively into helping people dismantle their dumb shit. $97 for a 90-day program, that's like $1 a day. People say, I can't afford that. I say, yeah, you can. Give up a donut. Not hard. Life-changing. But I can promise you this, even though I'm a busy guy, you send us your updates every 7 days, I will write back to you. Do you think that makes a difference, knowing you're not all alone in the world, knowing that, hey, somebody gives a shit? Yes, somebody gives a shit. Most people feel like nobody gives a shit. So that's manifestingmasterycourse.com. The other thing, joinremarkable.com. Joinremarkable.com. In there, you also get access to Manifesting Mastery if you want to. But you also get $1,000 worth of free goodies when you join remarkable.com. You get a monthly call. You get a private Facebook group that does not have 50,000 people in it. You get people that have put skin in the game or that are committed to taking a noble concept and dreaming that new version of them into an existence. That's joinremarkable.com. And now, just for fun, imagine what implies as we go into the silence. You see, the best thing that happened to me was growing up poor. Being on welfare. Getting the food baskets. The best thing that happened to me was, you know what, I couldn't pick my peanut butter. So we got the cheap shit. And when it ran out, when we had more months than we had peanut butter, I went sometimes a week without peanut butter. And that may not sound like a big deal to you, but it was a big deal to that little boy that I was. And at one point I decided I've had enough of this. And that's when I started diving deeper. Reading stuff like Neville Goddard, Napoleon Hill. finding anyone who could teach me anything, using my imagination to change my life. If what we do resonates with you, join us. Have a lovely day. My name is Mr. 2020, and you've been listening to the Neville Goddard Quote and Lesson Podcast.